Hey all, Hipper here. So we're taking the Yoshino out again, and this time with a full rudder build. And I want to show you some of the most, the luckiest kills that I have ever made in this game. And they both happen in the same game that I just played today, along with Where Are You, Aaron, and Let 'Em Peek. So just to look at the ship here, I have turret rotation at max. I even have the first upgrade, and still I can only get it down to just around 25.9 seconds, and it's better, but it's not perfect. 3.1 rudder and 38 knots. Concealment is actually decent considering I haven't done anything to it at 11.7. That's not bad at all. So it's a fairly good setup here, I think, but this is not the best Agile cruiser. I'm just playing it with an Agile build because I'm weird, I guess. So here we are, and like I said, this is a division with Peek and Aaron. I still have decent games playing Yoshino with an Agile build, and as much as it annoys Aaron, I'm gonna keep doing it. Because if you play the tier 7, I forget what it's called, the tier 7 Yoshino, the really bad cruiser, I forget its name, then there's no point to put an Agile build on that thing because you don't have the torpedoes anyway. But with an Agile build on Yoshino, you're able to, contort yourself in weird positions all the time, and you're actually able to get the torpedoes on more than one side off at more opportunities. And the torpedoes on this thing here is really where the majority of your damage lies, in my opinion, or at least half, because they can be seen from the moon, but you can fire them from 20 kilometers away from the enemy, and most people just forget about them. And then suddenly they're there, and just coming out of nowhere. There's no ship around, and they tend to catch people off guard. A bit like the Italian torpedoes, except that these are actually faster than the Italians. So it's once you are actually within 2 kilometers of the torpedoes, it's fairly hard to avoid them, unless of course you are expecting them, which again I said is on the rare side, because if you fire them 15-20 kilometers away, then by the time they make it to the enemy, the enemy has forgotten about the torpedoes, and sometimes so have I. I still think it's quite satisfying to see this almost 920 meter turning radius ship here dance around almost like an Otago. It's at a 3-second rudder, but the ship is enormous. It's almost as long as some battleships, and the way you can just trash this thing from left to right, and it actually moves quite quickly. That's fun. And it also allows you to angle that armor quite quickly, just like I'm doing here. So you can go broadside onto the enemy, get all guns on target, get both torps on one side off, and then angle your armor, deflect the incoming battleship salvo, and then turn and get the other side of torpedoes off, all within 30 seconds or something like that, or even less than that. It's fairly smooth ship, actually. It's not as bad an Agile cruiser that I thought it would be. I haven't really had any opportunities to rush battleships yet in it, and I think that would be fun. Because these torpedoes here, there's 8 on each side, and they hit like a truck. They hit at more than 20,000 damage, the shimmer torpedoes. And imagine rushing a battleship with those. I haven't had the opportunity yet, because as usual, every legendary battleship sits like 20 kilometers away from the action, and makes it a little bit hard to actually, try it. But on the other hand, I'm sure I will have my day. So here again, 20 kilometer torpedoes. This Kurfürster is 15 kilometers away. Doesn't matter. I'll just fire them anyway. And like I said, they're easy to spot. I believe it's 2.5 kilometers. But by the time they'll make it there, my bet is that he's forgotten about them, and that helps me. So again, here, see how fast I actually change the direction, and it just looks like a little bit physics defying here, if I have to be honest, but it's fun. And like I said, I've turned the turret rotation all the way up because I had a lot of problems with the turrets not keeping up with my turning. And there's nothing more annoying than that in an Agile cruiser. Like, you have to have faster turrets than your ship can turn. Otherwise, it's just frustrating. So we almost got this Kurfürst burned to the ground now. And again, just a fake turn here to just be even more annoying. And just use these HE here to set some pretty good fires. I still don't think the fire chance is super high on this ship here, and the AP is just too situational with an 18-second reload. I don't like to really load my AP because if whatever enemy I was planning to shoot does something I didn't really expect, like goes bow on or jumps behind an island or something like that, then my AP is kind of wasted. And like, the long reload makes it hard. Like, it's a bitter pill to swallow when you have to actually switch from an unused AP salvo back to an HE salvo. So we're nearing the first lucky kill in this battle here, and I will say this is probably one of the luckiest kills I have ever seen. And like I said, I've played a lot of battles in this game here, and I don't think I've ever done this before, really. And you'll know what I mean here in about a minute when we pull it off. So we kind of finished the C cap, the C flank over here. We have one cruiser on the run, so that's why I'm switching my attention to the B cap, because we don't want them to actually enter here and start to grab this cap here. And I see here again how fast I'm turning and how ridiculous the ship looks when you're doing it, but it works. So here in a minute, an Alaska is gonna pop up, and I've kind of been expecting that, so that's why I just fire some torps in there as well. And I am spotted, but I'm not really sure where this spotter is. But here's the Alaska, and he fires too early, so we just shoot back at him, and then I just continue behind the island here, because I don't really know what else to expect out there. But you saw I got off a salvo here that was aimed at the Alaska, but we end up hitting some unspotted gearing instead, and well, I'll take it, but I mean, I can't really take credit for that kill there. That was pure luck. I didn't even know the gearing was in that area. I thought he was actually somewhere more to the north. So I don't want to dance with that Alaska in there anymore. I'm going to go around this island here so I can get at the Montana instead. Because that's just a better use of my time, really. I mean, I don't have a radar, and again, a legendary cruiser without radar. I like the 20-kilometer torps, and I don't like the 25-millimeter bow, and I don't like the fact that I don't have radar. I just find it up at this tier. Like, if you don't have radar on your cruisers, like, it's hard to justify even playing them, which is a problem when you like to play Colbert, for example. And I also like to play Yoshino, but if we have to be honest here, and I think we do, then why don't you just play Des Moines or Minotaur or something that has a radar and actually is a little bit more of use. So again here we just angle the armor so we don't take any shells through the green parts of our armor, and it worked out pretty well. And that's a good side of an Agile cruiser. I do that in all my Agile cruisers. Like, it's very easy to make those quick adjustments to your armor, and that way you can bounce shells that you probably wouldn't otherwise be able to. Because again, I'm just sitting here broadside because I'm baiting him. I want him to shoot at me again. I want him to leave everybody else alone, because there's not much point in shooting at me out here. That was a very nice salvo, actually. So I'm going to stop being so annoying now and just fire some torps in here and take a little bit of a backline Betty roll here, which is again something the Yoshino does well, and it's not that helpful for your team, really. So there's a cap in there, and right now I remember discussing with Aaron if if my torps are going to get that Khabarovsk there, and I think they might, and we'll see what happens. But I've kind of spoiled this, haven't I, when I said there was going to be 2 lucky kills in this game here. But I really enjoy these long-range torps here. They really they make this ship here special. They don't make the ship good, or they don't make the ship one of the best ships in the game, and there goes the Khabarovsk. How lucky was that? But like I said in my first video, it's something different, and I like different, and I like fun, and this ship is fun. It's not as much fun as a Targo, I think, simply because I cannot throw it around the same way I can throw an Targo around, but I'm not gonna complain. It's decent, but is it worth all the effort you have to go through in this Christmas thingy campaign, whatever thing it is you have to do to get all the currency to actually buy the ship? I don't think so. I mean, this is not a Lenin or anything like that. I mean, Lenin was worth the trouble, definitely. And I didn't actually do that myself. And back then, the CCs only got Lenin for about 2 weeks, I think. So I don't actually have Lenin myself, which I'm still regretting. But Yoshino is a whole different matter. I mean, sure, you can do the whole Christmas thingy thing and, you know, work your behind off and gather and collect every single little snow currency, whatever it is. And you might even have to buy the ship if you can't, you know, do it the free way. I don't even know if it's possible, honestly. I don't think so. If you're gonna spend money on this update here, then I would just you know, spend it on the campaign as usual, and get the Marco Polo, because that's another interesting ship, another ship that has something different, which is of course the semi-armor piercing battleship shells, which are great fun and a very, very entertaining ship to play actually. Yoshino is also entertaining, and sure, it's a good ship, but I don't know, man. Like, if you have a Targo down at tier 7, remember that's 2 tiers lower. Yeah, that would be my pick. Yoshino is not bad at all. It doesn't have a radar, and the armor is also, in my opinion, not good enough for legendary tier. I mean, you always have to angle, and you always have to be on the lookout. And you can't really just sit bow on in this ship, because that 25mm armor is just going to get, well, pinned by pretty much anything. So Peak's going to make short work of the Montana here in a second, or I believe he is. Or maybe it's going to make short work of Peak. Maybe I got that one wrong, but anyway, then it's Aaron who makes short work of it. Anyway, the battle is won, and I got 2 very, very lucky and very, very cheap kills in this battle here, and I am very proud of that. So there was another Yoshino battle here, and this time with a full rudder build. It doesn't get any more agile than this. This is full agile on everything, including turrets. So hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you out there.